Hi, Nathan Tannenbaum with just some of the stories coming from the Las Vegas Review-Journal in print and online. Well, it may not be the biggest news of the day, but people sure are talking about the weather. After a high of 83 Monday, it's not expected to make it out of the 50s on Wednesday. And may I give you some potential water cooler weather trivia? Well, it's coming whether you want it or not. The National Weather Service actually has a technical name for the coolest ever high temperature for any given day. Like, you understand record high, right? The hottest temp for any given day. Well, the coolest ever high temp for any given day is referred to as the record low maximum. Huh? Well, we may be setting a record low max for Wednesday. The current record, April 15th in 1998, the mercury only made it to 56. It's going to be close either way this Wednesday, and it is almost a 30-degree drop in the high temp from Monday to Wednesday, but I digress. We'll have the full forecast in a couple of minutes. On a much more serious note, the man charged with chaining his daughter to her bed in hopes of keeping her from overeating had the book thrown at him by Judge Valerie Vega Tuesday. With prosecutors agreeing to a sentence in the lower range of possible prison terms, Vega instead ordered 53-year-old Robert Blue to prison for 5 to 15 years. He'll be eligible for parole in 2014. Now, he pleaded guilty to felony child abuse in the case back in February. We have the rest of the sentencing story for you in print and online Wednesday. Even with his national prominence as the majority leader of the United States Senate, Democrat Harry Reid's chances for re-election next year depend solely on the votes of Nevadans. Political reporter Molly Ball spent much of Tuesday keeping up with a number of the senator's southern Nevada visits, including what amounts to an unofficial campaign kickoff organizing convention. Again, read all about it in print and online. Now, a personal question. Do you Twitter? Well, whether you do or don't, there's one organization that is Twittering that might not immediately come to mind. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department? What's Metro doing Twittering? Check the print and online RJ Wednesday for the inside scoop, or just Twitter reporter Maggie Lillis. She'll tell you about it. Well, even though it happened in Los Angeles, it's kind of a local story. Oscar De La Hoya made official Tuesday what many had suspected after that poor showing in his last fight against Manny Pacquiao back in December. He is retiring. We'll have a report on the Golden Boy's emotional goodbye and his future plans Wednesday. Also sports related, they're getting all dressed up at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas for dressage. That's the World Cup of horse jumping set for this weekend. More pictures, more about the event in print and online. Wednesday means time for Taste, our every midweek look at all things food from our very own Heidi Napranella. This week's focus, though, is on the bitter taste left in the nation's collective mouth from all the recent food poisoning outbreaks. As the young people might Twitter, what's the dealio with all this? We invite you to read all about it. Already now, the weather. That big story is the big change from earlier in the week. A continuing wind advisory from the National Weather Service greets Wednesday, along with a dust advisory from the Clark County Department of Air Quality and Environmental Management. Now, while the chances for rain really aren't that big Wednesday, it's sure going to look and smell like rain, and it'll be cold enough on the foothills at the edge of town that if there's rain, it could be cold enough to turn into a brief flurry of snowflakes in April. I wouldn't hold my breath waiting for it, and certainly the chances for snow are much greater up in Mount Charleston. Then lingering clouds, wind, still below normal temps hang around Thursday with a return to sunshine and the 70s for Friday and Saturday. And for breaking news 24/7, you're at the right spot, ReviewJournal.com.